afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Matt Cannizzaro live from the National Bowling Stadium. We are here today at the 2013 USBC Open Championships to watch defending regular singles champion Henry Teetz III of West Allis, Wisconsin, put his title on the line here on lanes 53 and 54. They're in their 6 minutes of practice right now, and we'll have that action for you live in just a few minutes. Thanks for joining us today. Aaron Smith will be along shortly, and we have a lot of excitement in the venue today. We'll talk about that and more over the next couple hours. We appreciate you being here today. We'll be right back. All right, folks, practice is now over. We're about to get underway here. First shots are on the lane. We'll have the rundown for you in just a minute of who we're seeing today. Obviously, man of the hour, defending regular singles champ, Henry Teetz III. Also on this pair, 2009 regular all events winner, Ron Vokes. Kurt Preston is the third bowler on 54. On lane 53, Mike Jamrose, Benny Hafes, and Kyle Gertzen. So it should be an exciting show today here at the National Bowling Stadium. Henry Teetz getting ready to step up. For his first shot here. This is doubles right now. Singles will follow. And a great shot for the defending champ. He'll have 3 games to warm up today before he looks to defend his title. We'll have the details on his win in just a few minutes. Right now, sit tight and enjoy the first few shots of doubles here. 2013 USBC Open Championships. right, ladies and gentlemen, here's another look at our defending singles champion, Henry Teetz, up on lane 53. He started doubles here with a strike, and there's a double. Unlike our team champions we saw just last week. There's a lot of hoopla and fanfare that comes along with being the defending champion, of course, especially if you're a first-time winner. You get paraded around once you arrive at the Open Championships the following year. You get a special escorted march down center aisle, and of course you get to look up in the rafters and see your name on a banner for the first time. And right before competition, you'll see the word champion or an orange eagle next to your name on the scoreboard. Those are the reasons that these bowlers are here, and to see all of that come together can do a number on your nerves for sure. And if you're the team champions, or even all events, to put those nerves aside and get right to it minutes after being paraded down center aisle, receiving your championship watch, and then having to put your shoes on and throw those shots right away. Sometimes that moment can be overwhelming, and we saw our team champs, Nicholas J's Pro Shop, handle that very well. They made a great run here in 2013. Had two very strong games to start the night, despite all of that, and just didn't finish strong enough. They did move into the top 10 at the time, so that's all they can ask for. But Teetz will have 6 games to get comfortable here at the National Bowling Stadium and get loose before it's showtime. Much like his teammate Ron Vokes, Teetz came in last year to the Open Championships for his 20th appearance, and he's kind of been under the radar, at least outside of the state of Wisconsin. For most of his career, he's had some solid years, and then last year everything all came together. His career average still only 203.5, but he's had a solid career. And last year in singles, everything went his way. He started with 232, 279. And then at that point, there's a lot to think about. Potential 800. And last year when the scores were a little bit lower, the singles lead, a definite possibility. And Henry stepped up and finished with 289. Spared in the first frame, and then strikes all the way to the fill. So he definitely manned up on the big stage. Cameras were on him, the bright lights of the Baton Rouge River Center, and he got it done. Now he's a champion here at the Open Championships. His teammate Ron Vokes, also a solid career at the Open Championships prior to 2009. Vokes came out that year, I believe it was his 23rd. He had a high all events total of 1926. Right around 200 for a career average, and nothing super spectacular to earn him much recognition at the Open Championships. Then all of a sudden, 767 in team, 697 in doubles, and then the strikes started to pile on. Vokes had 857 in singles that year. on the way to a 23-21 all-events total, which was a record that I personally thought was not going anywhere for a long time. The previous record was 22-79, and it had been on the books since 2002, Stephen Hardy. Folks shot 857, 23-21. I thought for sure he was going home with 2 eagles, and that was in April. And then lo and behold, all of the records came down that year. Bo Gergen said, I don't think so. Came in later, shot 862. Folks did hold on for the all-events title, but that record didn't last long. Just 1 year later, almost 1 year to the day, Matt McNeil came into the National Bowling Stadium and bested him by 5 pins. Took home the 2010 title with a 23-26 all-events total as part of his recent 3-year run where he's been averaging 250 and took home 2 all-events titles. So it's a pretty cool story about folks, and he's been solid since. But nice to see the unknowns come out and find success here at the Open Championships as well. Today, folks, bowling with the left-hander Mike Jamrose from Milwaukee. Teetz bowling with Benny Hafes, a top senior player in the Midwest. Last night in team, these guys had a pretty solid night. 31-99. Of course, there was a ton of excitement last night. We'll get to that in just a minute. But Mike Jamrose, 669. Kyle Gertson, 625. Benny Hafes, 593. Ron Vokes, 743. So a lot of talk there, of course, about another run at all events for Vokes. 280, 237, 226. Filled every frame there. So 743 for the 2009 champ. We'll see what he's got. Henry Teetz, however, struggled a little bit on the team pattern, 41 feet. He shot 569 with a 167 start. As we talked about earlier, the nerves, I'm sure, played a role. Right before the team event, he was marched out, given his championship watch. Had just a few minutes to settle down before getting to it, but 167, 200, 202 for 569 and 31.99 for the Brunswick 5 Horsemen. That number outside of the top 10 here. But we should see a solid broadcast today. These guys all pretty talented, so looking forward to that. Now just a few lanes away, out of camera range, but certainly not out of eye shot. Yesterday, Red Carpet Lanes from Greenfield, Wisconsin, made a run at history. Now, just a couple days ago, we saw the all-time team record come down. 35-37 was the previous record. John Gaines, John Janowitz, Vernon Peterson, Scott Newell, and Mitch Jabinski shot 35-38. to break the record and take the lead here in 2013, but Red Carpet Lanes gave it a run yesterday. They moved into second place with 34.99, the 4th highest team series in tournament history. And that came with a enormous finish, 12.72, the 3rd highest game ever at the Open Championships. And those guys are bowling right now about 20 lanes away. Dave Barris, Chad Kloss, Chris Pearson, Chad Moss, and Jeff Nimke, the 1993 regular all events champ. So those guys, 34.99 heading into doubles and singles. So we'll keep an eye on them as they try to take the team all events lead. So again, a lot of excitement, and that was just early in the day. Aaron Smith is now here in the booth with us. He was here for much of the action yesterday. So the quick recap there: red carpet lanes 34.99 with the third highest game in history, 12.72. So we'll keep an eye on them for team all events, as well as keep our eyes on lanes 53 and 54 here at the National Bowling Stadium for Henry Teetz, Ron Vokes, and now Kyle Gertson trying to get his name in the mix. He has the front five. But Aaron, tell us a little bit about yesterday's excitement. All of a sudden, we went from 4 300 games to 7, and we see it daily. Runs at the record books.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting last night, Matt. Obviously, you mentioned the Red Carpet Lanes crew out of Greenfield, Wisconsin. Very talented group. Crossing team, not too bad either. Southern Storm featuring Ryan Rizzo, John Sosha, Rich Abode, Jace Peterson, and Dennis Rakoskis. 2008
regular doubles champ Rakoskis and Sosha.
So got to watch them for quite a bit, and then they open after getting out to a hot start. Red Carpet Lanes actually kind of lost the transition towards the end of the first game. Southern Storm kind of found it. They worked together, and then Red Carpet Lanes just started striking. Didn't stop for a while. They went their 10.75 opener, followed up with games of 11.52 and 12.72. And in that 12.72, Chad Kloss led the way with a 300 on his way to his 731 series. And that was just the beginning of the excitement yesterday, Matt. After that squad finished up and we talked to Chad Kloss and got some photos of the Red Carpet Lanes guys, the next team squad followed up with 2 300, so we had 3 in a single day. I believe the first time since June of 2011. David Fleming of Fairborn, Ohio started the action with a 300 in game number 1. He finished with 216-170 for a 686 series. And then he was right on 29 and 30, I believe. And then towards the end here on 47 and 8, I believe, was the end pair last night. Chris Snyder of Allegan, Michigan, after games of 209 and 215, fired 12 strikes in a row for a 300 and a 724 series. So yeah, we nearly doubled the amount of 300s in just 2 team squads.
It's pretty unbelievable. It seems like this time of year just seems to be it. I don't know. Obviously, not too many teams early. We kind of eased into it this year at the National Bowling Stadium, but you know, there was a window of time where it looked like it was the time to bowl. Ron Vokes, I remember, I believe it was April 25th, 2009, is when he took the all events lead, and I believe, if my numbers are correct, the very next year that record was broken on that same day, April 25th or so, or the 26th, somewhere in that window. So if it was up to me to move my team, I think that's the window. It didn't happen quite that way last year, but it was within, you know, a short time frame there. So I don't know if that's just when the better bowlers, or the lucky bowlers, I don't know. I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to offend anybody and say that we don't have good bowlers early, because that's certainly not the case. But sometimes it just works out that way. I don't know. Of course, we're here from March 1st all the way until July 7th, and we'll see a lot of great bowlers along the way. So anything can happen on any day, as we talked about yesterday. Some very talented bowlers made a run at the lead and the record in the team event, and a couple of folks we haven't heard of before found their way into the history here at the Open Championships with 300 games. So it's a good mix, and we've had you know, some repeat offenders, so to speak, in the 300 category here this year, and then we had an average Joe Smith from California, just a dedicated bowler at this event, has had an interesting career, hasn't shot anything camera worthy, and then this year he starts singles with 17 consecutive strikes. So you work hard at it, just like Ron Vokes, as we talked about. 1926 with his highest all events total heading into 2009, and out of nowhere, 857 and 23:21. So if you work at something long enough, good things will happen. So let's see if good things can happen here for Kyle Gertzen right in front of us, lane 53. Working on 6 in a row, trying to make it 7 here at the Open Championships.
And he gets it.
He does.
We'll see saw a lot of red strikes last night. We'll see if the trend continues. We were 3 for 3 last night, which is something we don't see too often once the red strikes come up and people get to the 8th, 9th, 10th frame. It's the pressure of possibly adding your name to the history books here at the Open Championships, and all eyes kind of turn your way after they see the red strikes, and you notice people aren't exactly rushing up on you all of a sudden. And
well, Gertzen, a youngster, as far as this group goes, this is just his 3rd Open Championships appearance. But if you're going to bowl with these guys, chances are you're pretty good. You don't just end up with Vokes and Teetz and Jamrose and Benny Hafes by accident. So he's got to be a pretty solid guy up there in the Midwest, where bowling is pretty important and pretty spectacular. But Gertzen, just his 3rd appearance, but the first 2 went very well. 1948 here at the stadium in 2011 for all events, and 1962 on a very challenging condition last year in Baton Rouge. So not a bad start to his career. The high series of 701 in singles last year. No, I'm sorry, in Reno here. So he obviously feels pretty comfortable in this building. He's got a very good group around him, but now he's got the 7 in a row butterflies, no doubt. We saw that earlier this morning, actually. Keith Bruning, who I've talked to before, as a frequent 300 shooter in league, and him and his brother, pretty solid careers overall. A lot of 300 games there, but he was making a run at one here on the big stage. Actually finished with 298. He left at 210 on his final shot. Just got a little bit fast and it skated down there and didn't finish. So 298. Hopefully we got that paperwork taken care of. And now we've moved on. So Kyle Gertzen at the moment, the man of the hour. But Henry Teetz, of course, the reason that we are here, the defending singles champ, right now pulling doubles with Benny Hafes. Aaron, what kind of numbers are they looking at right now for potentially adding a doubles title to their resumes?
well, Matt, and as we've talked about in other live streams, the doubles event has kind of been the wild card this year. Teams have been approaching it differently, and scores haven't been too crazy as of yet here at the Open Championships, but the number these guys are shooting for is 1403, set by Chris Green and Joe Keltner out of Wichita, Kansas, both past champions here, part of the 2008 regular team champions, Team Tilt, who's also leading team all events right now. Their teammates, Russ Wilson and Jay Futrell, currently in second at 1396. Score from this morning, actually, Curtis Rasnick Jr., and Kurt Rasnick Sr. out of Fairborn, Ohio, 1366, making their way up the leaderboard. Currently in fourth, Sean Green and Stephen Moan out of Georgia, 1365. And rounding out the top five, looks like Kyle got number 8 there. They're getting excited down there. And rounding out the top five, Scott Howe and Thomas Alt Jr. out of Oregon, 1351. So certainly some respectable numbers, but compared to some of the record scores we've seen in teams so far, a little on the slower pace this year.
Well, the situation here at the Open Championships has changed a little bit since 2012 for those folks just joining us. By the way, this is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and we're live at the National Bowling Stadium 2013 USBC Open Championships. And how is it different than 2012? Well, we've got a little different schedule this year, and the reason for that is because we've gone to fresh oil for every single squad. So no matter what time you bowl or what event you're bowling in, you'll be bowling on fresh oil. And because of that, doubles and single squads now are 7 a.m., 11 a.m., and 10:30 p.m. with team events back-to-back at 3 and 7 p.m. And the reason for only 3 doubles and single squads is because we now have 6 bowlers on each pair of lanes for doubles and singles, as you can see right now. 3 double sets, 6 players in doubles and singles, and they will not switch lanes. So that makes our job a lot easier. We don't have to move the table to another pair like we did in the past. All 6 games being contested on 1 pair of lanes. 6 guys working together to make things happen. And for the first time ever, 2 different lane conditions here at the Open Championships. So team event, a 41-foot sport certified lane condition. And here for doubles and singles, 39 feet, also sport certified. So if you plan on shooting an underscore here, and you want a really cool 300 ring or crystal pin for 800, upgrade your membership prior to coming to the Open Championships if you're not already a sport member, and reap those benefits. Don't do a Matt McNeil and shoot 3 honor scores before you do that.
Matt learned his lesson, though.
He did. First thing he does every year, just certify sport, and he's got a nice collection of crystal pins going at home. Matt, of course, the only bowler in tournament history with 3 800s on the championship lanes. Now, Aaron, I don't want to put you on the spot, but there's also 2 bowlers who have 2 800s on the championship lanes. One of them is in the building right now. Can you tell me who it is?
I think that may be John Sosha. And I know it's John Sosha, 3-time titleist here at the Open Championships. I believe he had a record banner as well for a while with 847.
At one point in time, it was the highest 3-game set here at the Open Championships. And then that was beaten in 2003 by Derek Sapp on the way to the regular doubles title with Sean Rash. He shot 857. And then a year later, John Janowitz said, I don't think so. He shoots 858.
We just saw John earlier this week. He did kind of well.
He did well, and he, at the time, of course, 858, the highest single set here at the Open Championship, so Janowitz got his name on a banner. Ron Folks, who you're watching right now, tried to take that away from him, but he ended up with 857, fell just short. Let's take a break from this story to watch Kyle Gertzen working on 8 in a row. Make that 9 here on the live stream. Folks, we could see history once again. We do not disappoint.
We're starting early today. Usually we have to work into it. This looks like a fun group just sitting behind here, though. Ron Vokes keeping the atmosphere light and setting it up for a chance of history here for Kyle Gertzen. There's a nice shot for Ron. Starting up the 10th frame here in game number 1 of doubles. Looks like we're a frame or 2 ahead of the red carpet lanes, folks. We're about 20 lanes away from us. They're looking like they're about in the 8th frame right now. Their crossing team, Southern Storm, just starting their 10th frame. Looks like Jeff Nimke out to a 237 start, so we'll be looking at that team all events score as the day progresses. Ron Vokes finishes game 1 of doubles with 187. His doubles partner Mike Jamrose 203. As Benny Hayes and Henry Teetz III step up to complete their first game.
Aaron, I really don't know where to look right now. There's so much happening here at the National Bowling Stadium. Of course, Kyle Gertzen, 9 consecutive strikes here in the first game of doubles, getting off to an early start on this 39-foot oil pattern. And then down the way, our second place team, Red Carpet Lanes, trying to capture the team all events lead again. There was a lot of exchanging of the lead in that event back in 2010 and 11, and they were in the mix. Got some work to do today. Of course, plus 500 is a nice start.
And then even past center aisle, we have another solid group that came out last night, led by David Leverage out of Peoria, Arizona. His group went 33-19, so another solid effort. That put them into 7th place in regular team. Let's see if they can make a run at the team all events as well. Young Kyle Gertzen stepping up on lane 54 to your right. Making his run at perfection here at the Open Championships.
Aaron, it always helps if you show the right scoreboard on the live stream. We do apologize for that. Amateurs. Here's Gertzen, 9 consecutive strikes. Trying to make it 10 and make history here on the live stream. Gets that one wide right, leaves the head pin.
Our good friend David Harris will appreciate that. He did the same thing not too long ago here at the Open, so you're not alone, David. Covers it up. He'll have a nice start here. Doubles. His teammate Kirk Preston looking to get to 200 here with a spare.
Again, we do apologize for that scoreboard debacle things moving around here. A lot of cameras set up in our DVD service right next to us as well. So everybody wants a piece of the action here at the 2013 Open Championships, but we've got the best seat in the house right here behind lanes 53 and 54, Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. Aaron, I haven't called you a meal one time this whole year.
I'm impressed. Sooner or later you will. I have faith in you. Now, Matt, I wasn't here for the practice. Did these guys seem like they had a strategy out there? Were they playing a little further right? Were they kind of all over the place, a little left?
Well, they got the one lefty, a couple of straighties, and then a couple guys like to hook the ball. So I didn't get a chance to talk to them and see what their plan was coming in, but Ron Vogt's already pretty far left. You see him stepping up on the approach here in just a second on the left lane. So that crossed about 17 at the arrows to about 10 at the break point. So I'm sure if we wanted Ron to come and tell us what was going on, he'd have no problem talking strategy with us. So maybe we'll catch up with him after game 2 and as we get ready for singles.
I was going to say, during practice, I made my way down to Red Carpet Lanes and Southern Storm to kind of see what their game plan was. After talking to Chad Kloss last night after his 300 and chatting with Chris Pearson as well, former junior Team USA member, it seemed like they were pretty steadfast on trying to create some area outside on this doubles and singles pattern by staying as far right as they could, as long as they could. And during their practice, it looked like for the first 4 to 4.5 minutes, they were all using a little bit of surface, trying to play out there 6, 7, 8 straight up the lanes. And once the 2-minute marker popped up on the scoreboards, a few of them made ball changes, kind of moved into, I think, where they were going to be playing. And so we'll see how that holds up. It's 4 of the guys from Red Carpet Lanes, Dave Barris, Chad Claus, Chris Pearson, and Chad Mass, are all on the same pair. Jeff Nimke is a pair to their left, but they have 2 other bowlers. One was a left-hander. The other gentleman was kind of playing in the middle of the lane, so we'll see how that affects their transition as well. Kyle Gerson starts up game number 2 with a nice little break there after his strong start. 276 with the front 9.
Aaron, I'm not sure if you did the math, but what's it going to take for Red Carpet Lanes guys to sneak into the team all events lead? I know 10,065 is a pretty rock solid number here, but They've shot 10,000 here before. They're part of the very elite group to have done so. So go ahead and do that math for us, let everybody know, and we'll keep an eye on them. Hard to see all the scoreboards from here, but we'll run back and forth as we keep an eye on things and everything else happening. We've got all 64 lanes going here on this 11 a.m. doubles and single squad at the 2013 Open Championships. Just some insight on the venue here at the National Bowling Stadium. Of course, it is, as we said here before, 4 stories of bowling glory, and now it's even better, as if that was possible. The one-of-a-kind experience here at the NBS, different in 2013. Upstairs here on the 4th level, we have 78 lanes this year, 64 of them being used for the actual Open Championships, and the 10 lanes on the high side, 69 through 78, being used for the Bowlers Journal Championships. Storm Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC for the first time, both events in the same building. And even better than that, Aaron, the Bowlers Journal Championships features the doubles and singles lane condition from the Open Championships. So if you want to get loosened up or get an idea of what the lane condition is like for doubles and singles, you can bowl in the Bowlers Journal. Right now, it looks like Matthew Tuckfield, who shot 300 last year in Baton Rouge, is bowling the BJ with Jeff Mersch, very talented left-hander from Florida. Made a run at the doubles title here back in 2010. Him and Eric Vermelia, former Junior Team USA members, both of them. Steve Novak, stand out at Saginaw Valley State University bowling as well, and PBA champion Anthony Lacoste. So those guys will be taking the lanes here in the next couple days. Right now, they're getting their feel for the doubles and singles pattern and trying to win a little extra prize money over at the Bowlers Journal.
And for the red carpet lanes, guys, the number they're looking for today for their doubles and singles, 6,567 gets them into the team all events lead. Like I said, we're about 20 lanes away. I believe Jeff Nifty went 237. I think I've stated that earlier. He was in the 230s for sure. Chris Pearson, 196. Chad Kloss, 204. Dave Barris, 222. And Chad Moss, 190. So they have their work cut out for them today. Have to average just under 220 as a collective group. So, but as we saw yesterday, once they start striking, they don't stop for a while.
Aaron, it looks like our defending champ, Henry Teetz, getting comfortable here in double. Started with 200. Now he's got spare 3 in a row.
Certainly looks like that. Henry struggled a little bit on the 41-foot team pattern, going 569, but it's the first time I've had the chance to see Henry bowl, and outside of a brief video on bowl.com last year that you and Emil were able to get as he made his run at the singles title. But I could certainly see this shorter oil pattern playing into his liking. He's fairly direct, his angles, pretty firm ball speed. It doesn't seem like he does a whole lot to it, so it certainly seems this could be a very favorable matchup for him.
Well, this year's doubles and singles pattern arguably similar to last year in Baton Rouge as far as length and shape, but we'll see how he handles it. Of course, you know, everything was kind of magical for him last year, and there's a reason nobody has ever won back-to-back singles titles. It's just not that easy. There's so many things coming into play. Obviously, a different city, a different venue. All of the pressure, I mean, that's just 3 games that things have to come together for you. Last year, everything worked in his favor. He threw the big shots when he needed to, and we'll see if he can do that again. He looks comfortable, certainly. Very calm and collected. Every time I talk to him so far this week, they've been in town a couple days. Ron Folks kind of acted as his spokesperson. I don't know if Henry's just a little bit shy or overwhelmed by the experience, but Folks, having been there, I know has been very helpful in the whole process, of course, from the minute he took the lead to, you know, last night, really, to help him stay calm and understand what it was all about. I mean, it's nothing like staring at the leaderboards every day for months and months, I would imagine, waiting to see if your score holds up. Of course, 800, a solid number, but it hasn't been enough in recent years at the Open Championships, going back to, you know, 2006 even. 2005 was a low-scoring year. Took 791. David Adam, the 2005 Open Championships regular singles titleist, is here as well. Saw him earlier. So how about that? Our 2 singles champions from our only 2 trips to Baton Rouge in the same building, bowling on the same squads.
It's a small world after all. Yeah, they were both on the 7 p.m. squad last night. I believe David Adam bowled earlier this morning. Not sure how his group fared, but they had a strong bunch. I believe Randy Lightfoot, former USBC Masters champion and current coach at Lindenwood University, good friends with Emil Williams Jr., was out here earlier today. Yeah, we had a pretty stacked squad last night. There were a lot of big names, and like I said, we had a few guys kind of sneak in there, throw in all 12 strikes. 2 300s in the final squad last night. One by David Fleming out of Fairborn, Ohio. The other, Chris Snyder out of Allegan, Michigan. The cool thing about David Fleming's story, not only did he have a teammate who's already shot a 300 here at the Open Championships, Rick Starbuck out of Kettering, Ohio, accomplished the feat back in '97. So David, I believe this was his 31st year. He's gotten to hear Rick's name for the past almost 15 years or so, 15, 16 years. So now he gets to hear his name as well. So that's got to be cool, having 2 teammates with getting recognized as celebrities here at the Open. And then it was also his anniversary by the time, obviously, we're out here on the West Coast. Back home in Ohio, by the time it was shot, it was already today, already Saturday. That was David and his wife Jerry's anniversary, so that was made it even more special for him. A very cool moment.
I want to give a quick shout out to Gina Darashevsky back in Milwaukee. She's tuning in to watch some of the Milwaukee guys and is asking about red carpet lanes. Well, Gina, we'll keep our eye on them as well. Things not going so well here in game number 2, however. I see a lot of yellow numbers on the scoreboard, which in this case is for splits. So Chris Pearson bowling well here in game 2. Dave Barris not so much. They're mixing in the opens and the strikes, so we'll have those numbers for you as things unfold. But certainly a lot of work to do there to reach that 10,000 number again, but we'll keep you posted along the way. In the meantime, Henry Teetz finding his groove here on lanes 53 and 54. Spare, 6 in a row. This scene looks very familiar, and he understands 5 in a row. Sorry, Aaron, I can't count or read, so that's cool. But last year, started game 3 of singles with a spare and needed all of them to get there, and he did. So we know he can throw the big shots when he has to, and certainly a big double set here would be a great confidence boost going in. Last night did not go so well for our defending champ. 569 in the team event after a 167 start. Again, so much going on prior to taking the lane, so I'm not sure if that played into it at all, but we'll find out from him later today. We'll talk title defense. And we just got a quick update from center desk. Looks like Brian Brazeau, PBA 50 champion, and he's had a lot of close calls here at the Open Championships. Right now, he's got the front 7.
Oh, yeah.
Way down, and then Peter Rouse right in front of us, also working on a 7-bagger. Stephanie Nation stopping by to see how things are going in the booth. So certainly, if you're right-handed in this building right now, take some notes. There's a lot of strikes being thrown here at the National Bowling Stadium, so we'll keep our eye on those guys. Brazeau up right now.
That is true, man. I don't think we've had a port-sider reach the 300 mark yet, so.
Well, if you'd like to follow along at home, perfect opportunity to get on X Bowling, the live scoring app here at the Open Championships. You can find that on your iPhone or Android device. The X Bowling Tournament Edition app in the App Store is absolutely free. Or you can go to xbowling.com/tournaments and you can check out the live scoring feature right now. Brian Brazeau still up, takes his time. He's definitely focused. So those guys are on 35 and 36. He did not strike. He got a 9 count. And then Pete Rush on lane 46, if you want to check that out on xbowling.com. He's got the front 7. So that app, very cool. It gives us the opportunity, actually, when we're down here in the booth, to see what's going on at the other end of the bowling center.
And by booth, of course, you mean our 8-foot-long table, right?
Well, yeah, we'll call it a booth for what it's worth. But yes, it's an 8-foot table with some camera set up on it, lots of equipment, so we can bring it to you live.
Peter Rush is bowling with Alan Rice. They got off to a nice start in game number 1 with 221, 210. So Rice a little behind pace here, but Peter Rush can certainly make up a lot of that here if he keeps on striking. And Henry Teetz cannot be stopped. 6 in a row after a spare in the first.
This could be good. He's getting some confidence, getting comfortable at the same time. Don't waste him, Henry. Of course, Ron Vokes in his record run in 2009, he started striking and never stopped. I believe he started singles with 290, followed that up with 300, and then the front 7 in game 3. So he was on the verge of really, really big numbers. Finished with 857 and took home an eagle. Regular all events 23-21. I feel pretty great about that. And, of course, we hear from Ron every now and then, but got a great start this year towards making a run again. 743 in the team event. Slow start here in doubles, 187. The number on top right now, of course, John Janowitz. We mentioned him earlier. 2169. Janowitz, at the time, going into 2009, had rolled the highest series at the Open Championships, 858. Bo Gergen decided he was going to beat that. Shot 862 on the way to the singles title that same year. He now has his record banner hanging above the lanes.
It's actually right above 53 and 4, so perhaps a little bittersweet for Ron. Peter Rausch's string of strikes ended in the 8th frame. He had left a 7 count.
So Janowitz didn't like the idea of that banner being taken away from him, so he thought he'd take a part in getting his name up on another banner. And he was part of that team last week. This week, I don't know, the days all seem to run together. It wasn't that long ago, a few days ago. Lodge Lanes 2 of Orlando, Florida. John Janowitz, of course, a 2-time winner here at the Open Championships in 2004. John Gaines, a 3-time titleist. PBA champ Scotty Newell. 1-time winner Mitch Jabinski, and former Team USA member Vernon Peterson shot 35-38 to break the record and take the lead here in 2013. So should that score hold up, Janowitz will be back on top with a banner or 2 at that point. If they hold on to win, he'll be on the champion banner as well. But as we saw yesterday, the lane's very playable here in 2013. Red carpet lanes. 34.99, gave it a run, came up short.
Benny Hayes and Henry Teetz putting together a nice game too here as a doubles group. Kyle Gertson, who had the front 9 last game, is stepping up on 53. It looks like he's already made a ball change. So kind of talked about earlier how they're different styles here, and guys playing a little further left. So he's already, it looks like he's still right around the same area. I went to something a little less aggressive.
Now I know that Southern Storm, Brian Brazil and those guys, the crossing team for red carpet lanes, I know they bowled pretty decent yesterday. I don't know if they got enough to really give Team All Events a run. They're bowling well today, so we'll keep our eyes on them as well.
They were in the 3100s, Matt. 3162 to be exact, so not a bad effort at all.
Those guys, as we said, Southern Storm, a lot of close calls here. They finished 2nd in the team event in 2011. 34-39 was their number. Of course, the winner that year, 34-73. Gail Myers and crew, our lifetime average leader. Turbo 2-in-1 grips. And they got there with the record score. Highest game in history, 1281. I just know that I've written the name Brazeau a lot of times in a lot of press releases over the years. It's time, I think, for him to get there. Talented group. Teammates John Sosha and Rikoskis took home the doubles title in 2008. That was the 3rd title for Sosha. So I know Jace Peterson and Brazeau would love to have their chance as well. So we'll see. Right now, Henry Teetz, his string of strikes comes to an end at 7 as he leaves the 2-4. Both of our gentlemen who had the front 7 not going so well here. They both followed that up with a pair of opens. A lot of pressure, I would think, when those X's turn red up on the scoreboard.
Although I wonder with the red, white, and blue setup we have here, I don't know if we've seen any of the Bowlers in the red slot have the front 7. Red on red, it looked like no score at all.
Well, I remember when we had Jason Narlock on our live stream broadcast with Curtis Odom. He thought he was in trouble when the X's turned red. He actually came up in the middle of the game and said, "What did I do wrong?" And it was funny and kind of felt bad at the same time, but he stayed focused and shot 299. Swish 7. Could have been the first 300 of the year. Came up just short.
That was also Jason's first tournament, so yeah, it's something you've never seen before. It'll make you wonder. Luckily, our cameras seem to attract red strikes, so Jeff Nimke of Red Carpet Lanes finishes game 2 with a 209. So they're chipping away at the team all events number. Still have their work cut out for them. The other members of that team pair over a little slower. They're in the 7th frame of game number 2. Chris Pearson pacing the way for that group. Dave Barris had a few early opens. He's trying to bounce back from that.
Nice to see Chris Pearson come back from a rough outing last time I saw him bowl here at the stadium. He's a very solid player, former junior Team USA member. Of course, when your dad is the king of lane conditions and you grow up bowling on the toughest there is, you turn into a pretty solid player. And of course, his Team USA coaching, I'm sure, helped as well. And a couple of years in college there, Robert Morris in Illinois, and a couple more years on the lanes and maturity, and he's turned into a fine player. He showed that yesterday, leading his team. He shot 735 to lead them just shy of the highest score ever. So that's got to feel pretty good to go from junior Team USA to one of the best teams at the Open Championships. And again, he's bowling well today, so we'll see. He could potentially make a run at all events as well. 735, a solid start. Ron Vokes started with 743, but now he's 187, 165. So 2169 though, the all events lead right now. John Janowitz, that's a pretty intimidating number.
Especially coming in with a different oil pattern after team event. We've seen a lot of guys put up decent sets in team. A lot of, we had a 770 earlier this week. Vern Heidenreiter shot one of our 300s, had 794, and just coming back, and I could imagine it'd be kind of hard to get out of your own way there after having so much success on the other pattern and trying to stay in that same area, even though you know it's a 2 feet shorter. But yeah, not a lot of people have been able to translate one set, a solid set in team, into 2 really solid sets in doubles and singles. So Mr. Janowitz's number is quite solid, 2169. Speaking of solid numbers, Benny Hayes and Henry Teetz putting up a huge doubles game here. Henry already in the 250s. Ben looking to get to the 260s after a 399 combined start. Looks like Henry's going to try a different ball here just to see if he has something a little bit better. Finishes with 257. Our defending regular singles champion.
So Aaron, we're talking a lot about records here at the Open Championships. Of course, we saw the highest team set ever, 35-38, just a couple days ago. And at one point in time, Ron Vokes, who we're watching right now, the highest all events total at the Open Championships. But for general USBC records, some folks are curious, where can I find those? And well, you can go to bowl.com/records. And there's a number of different categories that should get you all the answers you need about what's what in the record book, so check that out. course, all Open Championships records can be found on the Open Championships page on bowl.com. Bowl.com/OpenChamp. All kinds of goodies on there. Kinds of pictures, stories, blogs, news, notes, weekly scores, year-long scores, you name it, you can find it there. And if you want to see it happening live, you can check out xbowling.com/tournaments.
Speaking of good news, Benny Haves, Henry Teetz matching 257s here in game 2. They almost did that in game 1 as well. Ben was 199, Henry 200, so that's pretty consistent in my book. They are at 9, where are they at? 9-13 after 2 games, so 14-03 is currently leading doubles. Chris Green, Joe Keltner out of Wichita, Kansas, so they can, that's certainly within their sights here. A similar effort. So Henry and Ben will need 491 to take over the doubles lead here, so should be exciting. See if they can make a run at that. As Kyle Gertson finishes up game number 2. Mike Jamrose, 236. Benny Haves, 257. Kyle Gertson, 194. Ron Vokes, 165. Henry Teetz III, our defending singles champion, 257. And Kirk Preston, 176.
All right, we do appreciate everybody joining us today. Once again, going into game 3 of doubles here at the National Bowling Stadium. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith. 2013 USBC Open Championships. Live from Reno, Nevada. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. We do appreciate it. And Henry Teetz III appreciates it as well in just one game. He'll be trying to make history by becoming the first bowler to win back-to-back singles titles. We'll see. You'll see it here live on bowl.com.
Looks like Henry's going to be sticking with the ball he tried on the fill to end game 2. Starts off with a strike. Looked like a mean streak brawler. New pieces from Brunswick.
Aaron, the scoreboard view is driving me absolutely nuts today. Can't seem to get it right. But it's there nonetheless. It's not pretty, but it's there. So that's already a step up from their first 8 frames today.
Although I'm sure Brian Davis and the rest of the crew on 51 and 2 appreciated it.
It was actually the other way.
Oh, it's the other way.
Yeah, they're moving all kinds of things around, and well,
you had a few folks from Indiana on lanes 55 and 6. They're all good folks, so. Eric Pearson calls us flatlanders. I don't know how I feel about that, but Wisconsin's not that far away. Speaking of Pearson, Chris Pearson, unfortunately looks like his string of strikes. He was running 250s going into the 10th. Seems to have left a split there with the yellow 7 up there. So he's going to finish in the, oh, maybe not. Or he picked it up.
Never doubted Pearson.
Never. So he'll be in the 230s this game. Dave Barris, 4 opens on his way to a 170 here in game 2. But we got enough excitement right in front of us, Matt. Henry Teetz III and Benny Hayes making a run here at the regular doubles lead. Still got a lot of work to do, but after matching 257s last game, 490 doesn't seem too far away. 491, excuse me. Chris Pearson finishes with 234 for red carpet lanes. It's Chad Kloss and Chad Moss go up in the 10th.
Aaron, looks like Southern Storm. Richard Bood, Brian Bergeau, Dennis Rutkowskis, Jace Peterson, and John Sosha throwing some strikes here at the end of double. So I look forward to hearing what those scores are, as well as red carpet lanes. And of course, are we going to see new doubles leaders live on Bowl TV? Question in the chat room back from our records discussion earlier. We actually don't keep that many youth records. There's a handful of the youngest to do this and the youngest to do that, and career honor scores for a youth career. But other than that, it's not something that we've that we've had in there. So sorry about that disappointment, I guess. But plenty of other good stuff in there, so check it out. There's some stuff to shoot for.
Chad Kloss of Red Carpet Lanes finishes game 2 with 180. Chad Moss, 225. So a little up and down there. It looked like they were still end up plus that game, but not by too much. So they're grinding it out right now. We'll see if the lanes open up a little bit more as those guys head into game 3 of doubles. Jeff Nimke's already in the 5th frame on the pair to their left. He's got 4 out of 5 strikes to start. So the 1993 regular all events champion setting the pace early for Red Carpet Lanes.
You saw a great shot there from Ben Haves. He starts game 3 here with 3 in a row. If we can get Henry Teetz back on that strike train. You see them give our Team Tilt gentlemen a run for their money.
There's the first strike of game number 3 for Ron Vokes. Be fun to see him start striking again like he did in 2009.
That was quite a few going on that day. And I do remember after we told the world about it, of course, we saw our highest all events total in history. Got the word out and got to step out of the building for a minute to go watch our buddy Dave Bartlett get married down the street there in Las Vegas. And then it was quickly back to work to tell the world some more about Ron Vokes. So very, very cool day. Of course, that was just the first of the records to fall that year. Bo Gergen, as we said, 862 later in that event. And Brenda and Steven Padilla, 1566 in doubles. I think that one was especially spectacular just to see the whole romantic side of it. You know, the soon-to-be husband and wife coming in and shooting the highest double score ever. And it was pretty even. Steven had 790, Brenda had 776, so no lifetime bragging rights there. I think they both put in equal work. And see if Benny Haves and Henry Teetz can do the same thing here in 2013. A little less romantic, of course, but still very cool to see these guys. They've been here working hard for many years at the Open Championships to see them find success.
See how Henry Teetz bounces back after the big 4 in frame 4 of game 3, and Ben Haves the front 4. It's a lot of 4s right there, but see if Ben can hold him up here as Henry tries to get lined up again. A short moment up on 54.
Aaron, I should be taking notes right now as Jamrose, the left-hander.
That's what I'm here for, Matt, but go ahead.
Well, I'm taking notes on being left-handed.
Oh, I don't have to worry about that.
No. Jamrose throws it pretty well. I think we throw it differently enough that watching him bowl well is going to make me scratch my head a little bit.
2:03, 2:36 start for Mike Jamrose. Ben Hayes steps up on the left lane, looking for strike number 5. Looks like Henry Teetz made a ball change there.
And it paid off.
Certainly paid off after the big 4. Made a ball change at the beginning of game 3. I'm not sure if he went back or if that was something else, but certainly the reaction he was looking for. As Henry and Ben look to get to 491 here in game 3 doubles to take the lead from Chris Green and Joe Keltner, 14:03. Number everyone here is shooting for. Not everyone's on Bowl TV right now.
Somebody did ask in the chat room if these guys stop by the 900 Global Showcase lanes for their team event. We'll check on that for sure to find out. They did shoot 31.99 in team, very talented group. But for those of you headed this way, and if you'd like to get a sneak peek at the lane condition being used here for the team event at the Open Championships, you can stop by the all-new 900 Global Showcase lanes downstairs on the ground floor here at the National Bowling Stadium. Used to be a restaurant. Now there's 10 lanes. And those lanes are being used for team practice sessions. You can take 9 of your buddies down there. For $100, you can practice for 1 hour on the team lane condition. Get an idea, get a feel for your equipment, a game plan. If you'd like some help, for $200 for the hour, you'll be joined by 3-time champion USBC Silver coach Matt McNeil, who will tell you what he's learned in his few weeks here at the Open Championships this year, what it's going to take to find success upstairs on the team pattern. He'll give you some advice about doubles and singles as well, but as we said earlier, you can get a look for yourself by competing in the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships. Of course, for those who don't know, 2 lane conditions here at the Open Championships in 2013. So if you'd like more info on the showcase lanes, you can check out bowl.com/showcase lanes. Get the details. Make sure to register early as times do fill up. There's a lot going on down there with only 10 lanes. A lot of teams taking advantage of the opportunity to practice. Those lanes also being used for 2 great side events. Aaron, tell them all about it.
Well, the 2 side events this year, we have the 900 Global 2-game challenge, as well as the Who's Got the Look of Baker Bonanza, presented by Global 900. 2-game challenge, pretty straightforward. You get 2 games, year-long and daily payouts. 3 different divisions, all based on average. And for $40, that gets you in that. But if you want to take advantage of a little deal and bowl for free, when you come out to Reno here this year up until the end of the tournament, if you book 3 room nights through mybowlingvacation.com, we'll give you a free entry. How about that, Matt?
Everybody likes free stuff, no doubt. And even though I'm living here, maybe I'll join my team downtown, grab a hotel room, enjoy the Reno nightlife a little bit when they're in town in a couple weeks.
And then, of course, there's the Who's Got the Look Baker Bonanza, a very unique event this year. Get 3 of your teammates, 3 individual teams, 3 member teams, bowl 5 Baker games with the twist of each game, you can pick a new anchor to bowl the 10th frame. Obviously, you'll have one person bowl the 1st, 4th, and 7th frame. Another will bowl the 2nd, 5th, and 8th. The third will bowl the 3rd, 6th, and 9th, but you guys get to decide who bowls the 10th frame. Everyone does have to bowl at least one 10th frame, but if someone's striking, you can always depend on them to finish it out. And a similar setup. They have three divisions based on average. That's a $60 entry fee, so $20 a person gets you 5 Baker games, and then $40 for the 2-game challenge. A lot of fun. I've done the 2-game challenge. It's a different oil pair than what you're going to see if you do the practice session or the coaching, but still makes you throw good shots, and it's not too shabby, Matt. Speaking of not too shabby, the Southern Storm guys looks like they're just finishing up their 9th frame of doubles, so might be heading down there relatively shortly. Right in front of us, Henry Teetz comes back with a 3-bagger after the Big Four split in the 4th frame. His teammate Ben Haves, front 5 strikes before a 9 spare, looking for a 491 effort to take over the regular doubles lead. Great shot there by Ben.
All right, Aaron's going to run down and get some scores for Southern Storm. We'll have that update for you in just a few minutes. Right now, we'll stay right here and watch Ben Haves and Henry Teetz making a run here in doubles. They still have a possible 521 out there. That would give them 1434, more than enough for the doubles lead. 1403 on top right now. We'll see, not a lot of room here. But Henry Teetz with a big ball change there, seems to be lined up now, and Benny Haves. All great shots this game. 6 out of 7 strikes with a 10-pin in the 6th frame. There's a break for Haves to keep the dream alive here in 2013. Teetz cannot get a break of his own. Leaves a wobbly 4-pin there. They can still get there. They still got 14-13 possibility. If he can pick this up and they can both throw the last 4 strikes, of course. That is a lot of pressure, but we will see. Teetz has done it before. Benny Hayes, solid senior from the Midwest. I understand he lives in Alabama now. Mobile, according to the scoreboard. Down there to coach a college team to share some of his knowledge from his long, accomplished career. Ron Vogts settling in as well after 187-165 start. There was a 4-bagger here in game number 3. His partner, Mike Jamrose, bowling well, 203-236. So it's going to be a solid number for them also. 31.99 in the team event. Appreciate everybody being here today. We're watching the final 2 frames of doubles. Will we see new doubles leaders here at the 2013 USBC Open Championships? Benny Hayes says, no, sir. Best Hayes and Teetz can get to today, 13.92. So they'll come up short, but still Teetz has to feel pretty good heading into singles. Couple questions in the chat room. Keith checking in from Florida. Curious about the ex-bowling feature here at the 2013 event. xbowling.com/tournament on your computer or the free app on your iPhone or Android device. X Bowling Tournament Edition. You can check out live scoring and some cool stats from here at the 2013 event. The only special contest they're having is the 90 frame X game. It's just a big strike jackpot, and if you strike in the correct 26 frames, you can win $50,000. So check that out, xbowling.com. Get more details there about the X Bowling 90 frame game. Somebody tell Ron Vokes, 10th frame, you get to try again. Smith coming back in. I have a feeling that when Ron Vokes is done picking up this bear, he's going to want to come back here and chat with us for a minute. We'll get a couple quick thoughts from him, see what's going on out there, hopefully. Eric Pearson also in the building, watching his son Chris strike it up down there for Red Carpet Lanes. We'll have all those numbers here in just a minute.
Matt, looks like they're not going to have enough to get the doubles here. They're going to fall just short with...
Just short, possible 1392 by my calculations. But
that's what I was looking at as well, but still a...
So as bad as everything else is going for me today, technology-wise, wouldn't be surprised if I couldn't work a calculator either. But I think I have that one nailed. Still going to be in the top 5. And Teetz has to feel pretty good about this ball change halfway through game number 3 and heading into singles, of course. Unlike last year, he'll be staying on the same pair of lanes. So last year, I believe they bowled at 1140, so they were bowling on the 3rd squad of the day. This time, fresh oil from frame number 1. Just like every other squad this year. And now 6 straight games, so we'll see if they were able to nicen them up, as they say. We'll have singles for you in just a couple of minutes. So the final shot from Teetz right there, he finishes strong. And as expected, 1392. And that puts them in, should be 3rd place by my calculations and looking at the leaderboard earlier. So, 1 top 5 already in the books. They're talking about it a little bit as they get ready for 3 games of singles.
I was going to say, and as they finish up here, give you a quick report about one of the other groups we're watching, Southern Storm and Red Carpet Lanes. 4 out of the 5 members of Red Carpet Lanes are still few frames behind here in game number 3. Jeff Nimke, who's on a different pair, finished with 671 as that group looks to make a run at team all events. Rich Abood for Southern Storm, 644. Jace Peterson, 597. Brian Brazeau, 668. John Socha, 611. And finally, Dennis Rakaskis, 602. So we'll keep you up to date as the rest of Red Carpet Lanes finishes up. Seems like they're having a solid performance so far here for game number 3. Dave Barris still struggling a little bit after last game. He's got 3 opens, but the rest of the group is clean. Chris Pearson striking a bit. Chad Moss has a few in a row as well, so we'll see how they finish up there.
All right, Mr. Smith, I had a chance to chat with my old buddy Ron Vokes, who, as we talked about earlier, we had no idea who he was. I know even living in Wisconsin for a while, working with USBC, I still didn't know who he was. And on the Open Championships map for his first 23 years, he was just another solid bowler from the cheese state, as they say. But since I've had the opportunity to get to know him, he's probably one of the funniest, coolest guys that I personally know. I did have the honor in 2009. After the event, I was invited up to Milwaukee by Lynn's limited team. They took home the regular team and team all event titles that year. Gus Yanaris, Lenny Boris, and the fellas, so good friends there. Gary Dereshevsky got to go to their Hall of Fame dinner and got to present their Eagles to them. So the 5 of them and Ron Vokes, and one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. Such a cool group of guys, and I talk to Ron all the time, and especially when they're getting ready to come out here to get the heads up and what's going on. And he, like I said earlier, he's kind of acting as the agent for Teetz, who is just new to all this. He he hasn't been here. He wasn't there in 2009. They didn't hook up till later, I believe. When folks went on that run. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but even in talking to Henry a few months ago, getting the story ready for the yearbook.
That's a great start to his title defense.
They've been talking for months and months, even since they got done bowling last year, on what to expect, what it's going to be like, what the weight's going to be like, what the phone call is going to be like. And then, of course, all the congratulations when you are the winner finally, the celebration, and then the preparation. Because there's a lot of pressure coming in here. Nobody's ever walked away with back-to-back singles titles. And the whole experience, again, that we talked about, the hoopla, the festivities here as the champ, your name's on the banner, the name or the champion next to your name on the scoreboard. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. So Vokes has been there every step of the way to help Henry through it. And now we're 6 games in, and Henry and Ben Haves just made the top 5 in doubles. So he obviously has a pretty good feel for this oil pattern. And what we're seeing right now, he starts singles with a strike. So we'll see if we can get out to a great start here and make a run at it. That'd be really cool to see on the live stream. So we've had a lot of great moments this year. Let's see if we can get one more.
Let's go say and talk about Ron. I've only had very few opportunities to talk with him, but he's got to be one of the most personal people I've possibly ever met in my life. Just a fantastic guy. Very easygoing. He's here to have a good time. He knows what it's all about. And
well, that's the key to it. I mean, these guys are obviously great friends back home in Wisconsin. Benny Hayes now in Alabama. So this is a little bit of a reunion for them. You know, the chance to see folks that potentially you haven't seen in a year. Have a couple of cocktails, no doubt. Play some cards. Enjoy some great food last night. The first of many Food Truck Fridays here in Reno. They had 8 or 10 food trucks parked right outside, across the street from the venue. Live music, opportunity to go out there and try some good food. That's the first and third Friday of every month. From now until October, I think. But very cool to do that. Get out of the building for a minute, get some fresh air. Just another great feature as they're making improvements, upgrades, additions to this really cool and convenient city. I mean, we've talked about it already. The showcase lanes downstairs, a team practice session is a possibility. Ron Vogt said that they went down there, they had a team practice session. More than anything, they just wanted to get a feel for ball reaction, to get comfortable. And it worked. They had 31.99 in the team event. He said they bowled the Bowlers Journal Championships to get an idea what they'd see in doubles and singles. Of course, the same pattern being used over there. And clearly by their scores, they feel pretty good. That worked out well. And all in one building. He said they even tried out the Who's Got the Look Baker Bonanza. They broke up their group a little bit. Gave it a whirl and enjoyed it. And they're here to have a good time.
they certainly are.
And very convenient that they can walk right across the street to one of the great hotels nearby, the El Dorado, Silver Legacy, Circus. Harrah's right next door. The Sienna, we stopped by there the other day. Aaron and I did on our walk around town just to see what's going on. Checked out the Riverwalk, checked out the Sienna, which has new owners now. So a lot of commercials about that venue, so check that out. Very bowler friendly all over town. Glad to be here, glad to have us here.
Very true, and this is my 4th time living here in Reno. That was the very first time I got to experience the Riverwalk, and it's so unbelievably close to downtown, it's almost frightening that I never saw it before. But yeah, just a great little walk. Tons of restaurants, bars, anything to, like I said, it's just a few blocks south of the stadium here, and head down 1st Street, and you're right there. The stadium, of course, on the corner of Center and 4th Street, a block away from Virginia, the main drag here in Reno.
So it's far enough away to be different, but still close enough that you can walk over there. A lot to see and do. I was talking to folks actually about it when they got here. I was down across town at the Women's Championships venue, the Reno Sparks Convention Center. The Women's Championships about to kick off on April 12th. So we're looking forward to that. We were checking out the venue as it's about to be completed. As Henry Teetz completes a 3-bagger here to start singles. He's feeling
just making this look easy.
Real good. So the number on top of singles right now, 776, Kelly Bonta. That included a 300 game. So we'll see if Teetz can keep it going. But when they arrived, they were looking for me. I was across town. We have a media event coming up on Tuesday, and then the kickoff of the Women's Championships on the 12th for the first time. Both events in the same city at the same time. And those ladies will be back and forth. Of course, they'll come and take advantage, hopefully, of all that the NBS has to offer, all these great side events, and the Open Championships as well, while they're in town. But, they had no idea. You know, I was telling them about the venue a little bit. 44 lanes inside the Reno Sparks Convention Center. And then Ron was telling me They just walked outside and they looked, and from their hotel or from their walk around town or whatever they were doing, they saw the climbing wall, which is the old Fitzgerald's building. It is a rock climbing facility. You can go in there, they have all kinds of different walls of sizes and heights, and so you can go check that out, get a little exercise, and if you're brave enough, you can scale up the side of what used to be the Fitzgerald's Hotel. So a lot of changes happening here, a lot for the bowlers to do. You know, whether you're climbing a wall, having a slice of pizza at the food truck, or spending all day bowling. It's easy and it's convenient. It's all right here in the NBS.
Another cool venue that's popped up here in the past few years, just a building or two south of where that rock climbing wall is at the old Fitzgerald's is, oh, now I can't think of the name of it, of course, but there's a new music venue as well. Oh, this is gonna bother me. I had the name 2 minutes ago when you were talking about that, and now it seems to escape me. But Knitting Factory, there we go. Knitting Factory. It's a cool little venue. Check out their website as well. See if there's any shows coming to town while you're coming into Bowling Open Championships or Women's Championships. Very small, intimate venue. If you've ever been to a House of Blues, a lot of the major hubs have those. Very similar feeling, and just a cool place to go see a show as well. So new stuff always popping up over here in the biggest little city.
Well, if you want to see a show, get over here right now. Henry Teetz III. Stepping up, the defending regular singles champ here at the 2013 Open Championships, looking for 4 in a row to start singles. Can he get there? The number on top, 776. And he gets a little fast there. Got a ball return here on lane 53. Teetz is going to wait for his chance to pick up his first spare of singles here in 2013. As if there's not enough pressure already. Got fast there. Kyle Gertzen striking as well. He's got 3 in a row. He'll be stepping up for his chance at a 4-bagger in just a second. Aaron's writing down some scores for red carpet lanes. They just got done with doubles there a few frames behind. Teetz back in action here. Gertzen waiting for his shot. That's spared no problem for the defending champ. Aaron, you'd think by looking at the scoreboard here on our broadcast today that this event's taking place on a cruise ship.
Rocky Seas, Matt?
A little bit. First day on the job, apparently. Do appreciate everybody joining us, though, if you're just tuning in. It is singles time here at the 2013 USBC Open Championships. Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith bringing it to you live. Ron Folks says, I want some attention, too. Spare four-bagger to start singles here. We are behind lanes 53 and 54 at the National Bowling Stadium. 64 lanes being used this year for the Open Championships. Our action kicked off March 1st and will run until July 7th. So a lot of great teams and bowlers still to come in the coming months. And we'll have some of it live. If you'd like to check out the live stream schedule, it is updated on the main page of bowl.com through May. You can find that on the right side. Bowl TV Live. All times are Eastern. You can view the upcoming schedule. While I'm looking at it, let me tell you what's coming up. Obviously, we're right here to watch our defending singles champ, Henry Teetz. Aaron and I will be back on the air April 13th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. here in Reno to see Team USA member Shannon O'Keefe, her husband, and Team USA assistant coach Brian O'Keefe. We'll watch their team event. They've made a run at it a couple times in recent years, so hopefully they'll put on a good show for us. Then we'll take a break from the Open Championships as Lucas Wiseman takes this show on the road to Lincoln, Nebraska for the Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships, April 16th through the 19th. So a lot of great collegiate action coming up on the schedule. Who will be the next national champions? You can find out live on Bowl TV with Lucas Wiseman. Then I will be right back with you on April 20th to check out soon-to-be USBC Hall of Famer Rick Steelsmith. Try to get it done with his experienced team here. And they're joined by a group of talented youngsters, former Wichita Staters John Turbinski and Jesse Buss. So we should see some fireworks there. Then 3 days later, April 23rd, Mike Rose Jr., Rob Gottschall, Adam Barta, Scott Pohl, and Brian Wallachek. Again, all familiar names here and elsewhere. Mega Bucks events, Team USA. Looking forward to that one. And then we'll kick off May with three-time champ Matt McNeil. We've heard him on the live stream broadcast this year, talking about his role downstairs at the Showcase Lanes as the featured coach. And it'll be his turn to see if he can continue the magic here at the Open Championships. He has not disappointed. 2010, we saw a 300 game, 822 series in doubles, right here at the National Bowling Stadium. Last year, 847 in doubles with a 300 game, and he walked away with the doubles and all events title. So let's see what Mr. McNeil, or as they call him now, Matty McHonourscore, has up his sleeve in 2013. The rest of the schedule, go to bowl.com, find it on the right side. Live stream all the great events through the month of May.
Speaking of not disappointing, Ron Folks, Henry Teetz, they're striking here, man.
Well, they put on a pretty solid show in doubles. We almost saw a 300 game out of the youngster, Gertson. And then, of course, our third place doubles effort from Teetz and Benny Hafes. And now, a lot of strikes on the board, and we see that with the team strategy and all six guys staying on the same pair of lanes. If you play them how you'd like to, break them down together, just like the team event, that seems to be the strategy. You're going to open them up a little bit for singles, and it looks like that's what they've done. Everybody striking now. Couple pairs to our left. Todd Swadinsky, couple shots away from 280. Keep an eye on him as well.
Out of Mackinac, Illinois.
Aaron, I know you were down there with the red carpet guys. You have some calculations done.
I certainly do, Matt.
A lot of folks out there curious about our second place team 34.99 yesterday. Are they making a run at 10,000 today?
Well, they're going to have a pretty big single set. Just run them down in order. Jeff Nimke, 671 in doubles. Chris Pearson, 664. Chad Kloss, who shot 300 last night, 611. Dave Barris, 559. Chad Moss, 652. So that totals up to 31.57 for doubles, putting them at 66.56 after team and doubles. So to get to the number of 10,065, we'll have to go 34-10 in their singles effort, which is about 228 a guy or so, right around there. So
we saw him do it yesterday in the team event, but this situation a little bit different. We'll see. We'll keep our eye on them. 3,400 is a lot, no matter what. However, we're going to see these guys making a run. Maybe we should calculate them for team all events as well. Looks like our Southern Storm guys, a couple of them struggling a little bit, a couple of them going very well. A little bit of a nail biter all around.
Richard Booth starting with 238. Jeff Nipke, 225. These guys are having fun right in front of us, Matt. That's, I don't know if you can hear it in our voices, but I feel like we're having more fun out here than just watching these guys have a good time out here. It's contagious.
Well, even though this is singles, these guys all dressed alike and making it feel like a team event. Obviously working together, communicating after every shot. But yeah, they're loose, they're having a good time. And they're striking. So anytime you put all those things together, it's bound to be a good time for everybody.
Yeah, striking.
Gertson. 6 out of 7 here, first game of singles. He started doubles with the front 9. Finished with 276. Let's see if he can top that here in game 1 of singles. Singles leader right now, Kelly Bonta from Wichita, Kansas, 776. That number's been up there for a little while.
It has.
First 300 game of the year, on the way to that. No?
Shannon Dins.
Shannon Dins, that's right, in the team event from Wisconsin. It was the Kansas guys who took the reins from the Cheese State. And had that great run that included taking over singles, doubles, and team all events. And all events at the time. Joe Keltner, Team Tilt. Now the Wisconsin guys trying to get it back here. Sorry about that, Shannon Dins.
Matt, you asked about how the Brunswick Five Horsemen were doing after doubles. After everything we saw, they ended up with 32.52 for their double set to go along with their 31.99. 6,451, so they have to go 3,600 plus, 36.15 to be exact, to sneak into team all events, but Ron Vokes and Henry Teetz might do that on their own.
Ron Vokes, I've seen this movie before. As we said earlier, 2009 started singles with 290, 300, and the front 7 before that run came to an end. Still a long way between the 8th frame and 850. But I've seen him do it once already.
Gertson keeps striking as well. That's 7 out of 8 for him. A lot of X's up on the scoreboard right now.
These guys have taken advantage of every opportunity here in Reno this year. Another strike for Jamrose. Did the team practice session. They bowled at the Bowler's Journal. They bowled the Who's Got the Look Baker Bonanza. They're staying nearby.
I think Ron liked that one.
Well, we did live stream Ron Vokes in 2010. We were a little primitive back then with our setup, but we showed him in his title defense. Had a respectable 1957, I believe was the number. $1960, so not bad. Of course, we also had our eye on Vokes today after a 7:43 start in team last night, so all events a possibility coming into this afternoon. Struggled early in doubles, but Aaron, the man with the calculator, will keep us up to date on that situation.
Well, as Matt just mentioned, Ron put together 743 during his team event. Capped off with a 280 opening game. He's looking to open with 290 here. And he followed that up with 588, as we just saw in doubles. Let's put him at 1331 through 6. So, well, if anyone's done it before, it's Ron Vokes. 838 to tie Janowitz's number. So 850 would give him a little breathing room there, but a whole lot of striking to get to the all events number.
Well, I don't think he's thinking 857 right now. I have a feeling if he's thinking anything, it's 777. That would give him the lead by a pin. Of course, he wants to get as much as possible, but Vokes leaves a 10 pin there in the 10th frame. If you like that shot, possible 269.
Very animated on the approach there, Matt. Fun to watch, kind of like our friend Frankie May.
Well,
who's out here at the Visionary booth.
Once Vokes got going, sorry about that, sir.
Oh, anytime.
Once Vokes got going in 2009, once we knew who he was, we were out there with the cameras, and certainly an entertaining gentleman. So let's see what he's got in store for us the rest of the way.
So the 260s after covering the 10 pin. Trying to help Mike Jamrose get to the pocket as well.
Chad Murphy just walked by. The managing director, if I can get this right, let's look this up because his job title has changed so much. This is a doozy.
269 opening game for Ron Vokes.
Chad Murphy, the managing director, International Bowling Campus Youth Development. So now USBC and BPAA, bowling proprietors, one big happy family, and a number of different ventures, youth bowling being one of them. So Chad Murphy heading that up. He is in town with his brother Billy, former Team USA member Corey Simmons. Those guys take to the lanes tonight. So it's just one great group after another coming in here. So Aaron, I don't know if you had a plan on getting any rest anytime soon, but that's what August is for.
I was hoping the end of July, but if I have to wait till August, I can.
Henry Teetz nearly leaves the bucket.
And his misses this game have all been very similar, all kind of 2-4 combinations, 2-5 combinations, or just the 2-pin last frame, but it seems he just needs the ball to tilt a little bit more.
A little bit fast. Needs to slow down. Big moment here. The defending champ. A lot of folks are watching him. His name is hanging over the lanes.
This is kind of similar to the start he had last year, if I recall correctly. I think he was in the 230s.
232, 279, 289. And that was as we say, he manned up for that 289 because he knew it. He started that game with a spare, and he knew he needed them all. There was no secrets. Simple math. And he got there. Left the 10-pin on his fill ball for 800 on the nose. I mean, even then, extra pressure, you're going for 800 and the singles lead. And he got them both. Strike here gives him 244. Here's the 4-pin, 243.
The ever popular 243. Still a nice start here.
So Teetz ahead of last year's pace through one game. So it's got to feel pretty good.
It's a step in the right direction. Just averages 284 his next 2 games.
That's it, done.
That's all we gotta do.
But we'll see if the rest of the guys on the pair have anything to say about that. Jamrose 224. Benny Hayes, possible 207. Gertson, possible 255. Vokes already in the books, 269.
Looks like Hayes made a ball change there on the fill. 207. Gertson looking to finish game number 1 of singles here with 255.
Aaron, if those guys are going to get to 3,400, the red carpet lanes folks, you're going to have to start striking. Things not going spectacularly. But it's early, anything can happen, so we'll keep our eye on them still, of course.
Well, they got a few guys on pace for big scores, possibly. They're still in the 7th frame of game 1 in singles, but Jeff Nimke already in the books at 2.25, 225. Dave Barris can max out at 260. Chad Kloss a little bit behind. Chris Pearson, 250 possible, and
Dave Barris, that's a name and a face. I've taken his picture quite a few times in this building. He left us for a couple of years to go try his skills on the PBA Tour, earned an exemption, so he was out of here for a couple of years, but bowled very well here a number of times. Like John Gaines says, you did not succeed unless you get your picture taken. John Gaines, of course, a 3-time champ, currently the record holder in the team event, 35-38. Record holders and leaders here in 2013. Long way to go. I was corresponding with Mr. Gaines yesterday as the red carpet lanes team was making its run. No doubt a lot of relief in the state of Florida when they came up short, 34.99. Still the 4th highest total in history, but not good enough. Any other year, just about, but not 2013. 35-38, big number on the team event. 10,065. Team tilt, big number in team all events. But yet the double score, just 14.03. That, of course, possible because of the fresh oil for doubles now. So scores a little bit lower.
We saw Benny Hafes and Henry Teetz III make a run at it. Falling just 11 pins short of the number, 1392. Move into third place, unofficially, of course. I don't think any of the other groups that we've been following put together that big of a doubles set, so we'll call it unofficial.
We do appreciate everybody joining us. If you are just signing on, this is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. Live from the National Bowling Stadium, we're watching defending regular singles champ Henry Teetz try to become the first player in history to win back-to-back singles titles. Started this campaign with 243, ahead of last year's pace. Of course, it's just game number 1. Last year he took it all with 800 on the nose. Threw the big strikes when he needed to. We'll see if he can do it again here in 2013. His teammate Ron Vogt starts with 269. Kyle Gertzen 244. So everybody wants a piece of the singles action. Can anybody catch Kelly Bonta? 776. We'll see. Mr. McNeil stopping by as well to see how these guys are faring. So not only do we have the 2 singles champions from Baton Rouge, 2005, 2012, David Adam and Henry Teetz III in the same building today. We have the 2 highest all events totals in history, 10 feet apart. Ron Vogt 23-21 on the way to the title in 2009. 1 year later, Matt McNeil shoots 23-26 in this building to take him down, and now here they are.
And to go even further, the only 2 people to shoot 800 at the 2012 event, Henry Teetz III and Matt McNeil.
And to go even further,
Uh-oh.
2 of the 3 bowlers in history with multiple 800s at the Open Championships also in the building, Matt McNeil and John Sosha.
Just missing Matt Wagon now.
There you go.
That'd be a pretty solid who's got the look Baker Bonanza team.
So the common denominator almost in all of those, Matt McNeil. Pretty solid couple of years here at the Open Championships.
Yeah, he's not bad.
For a lefty, it's pretty good. So I don't know if McNeil and Vogt know each other. I mean, I'm sure that since Vogt has been in the building this week, perhaps, but I don't know if they knew each other before this. They bowl different times. But kind of cool to see all the history in the building at once. So Ron Vogt, who struck it up in game number 1, yet to strike here in game 2, starts with an open spare. Henry Teetz looking for his first strike here in game 2 as well. Another 4-pin. believe our next defending champs will be S&B Pro Shop from Clinton Township, Michigan. They'll be here in about 2 weeks.
I believe on the 18th.
And we will not be showing them on the live stream. We try to get them on the schedule, but that is when Lucas is at the Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships. So we'll not be able to get them on, but we'll bring you the recap of their performance when it's all over. And then Matt McNeil and Charles Vashaw will round out this year's defending champs. April 30th and May 1st. We'll have that for you live in the middle of the night. Actually, it's 1:30 a.m. Eastern on May 2nd, but we'll be here. McNeil has not disappointed in his time on the live stream, so we'll see if he can make it 3 for 3. Ron Vogt, strikeless here in game 2 still.
Late 8-pin falls for Mike Jamrose there. Took its sweet time falling, but as long as it falls, that's all that matters. Looks like Dave Barris is going to be in the 250s this game, bouncing back nicely after struggling a bit in doubles. Chris Pearson finishes game 1 of singles with 233. He's been fairly consistent today. After a 196 start, 234, 234, 233. And he had a 233 and a 236 yesterday as well, so he likes those 230s.
Well, a lot of 230s on the board so far today across the house. Todd Swadinski, we mentioned earlier, had 247 game 1. And started this game with the front 6 before going open spare. Also on that pair, Kenny Shaughnessy just had the front 7. He went 9 spare in the 8th. Jace Peterson down at the far side there for Southern Storm. Had the front 6. Now he's struck in 7 out of 8 frames. Getting text messages while we're on the broadcast here from folks tuning in via X Bowling to tell me what's going on other lanes as well. That's the X Bowling app on your iPhone or Android device. It's free. Download it. X Bowling Tournament Edition. You can check out live scoring from the Open Championships, some cool stats and different things on there. You can register for the 90 frame X game. See how people who have already bowled did here at the Open Championships as well. And if you're at the computer right now, you can open a second window, go to xbowling.com/tournament and get the same great information. You can watch different pairs from across the house while you're watching us live here behind lanes 53 and 54. The Southern Storm guys just to the right of center aisle, 35 and 36. And Red Carpet Lanes, 37 and 38.
They knocked out a sizable chunk of that team all events number they're going for there. They're about plus 120 for the first game of singles. Jeff Nimke once again 225, Chris Pearson 233, Chad Kloss 204, Dave Barris 258, and Chad Moss 202. So give or take plus 120 right around there. So still got to get to 3410 unofficially to get to the team all events number, but certainly a step in the right direction.
The 9-pin not cooperating for Henry Teetz. Still no strikes here in game number 2. He's going to have a lot of work to do the rest of the way. We'll talk to him no matter what when we're done. Him and Benny Haves, 3rd in regular doubles. We'll see what his thoughts and feelings were heading into his title defense. Give you a recap of the Red Carpet Lanes Team All Events run as well. We'll have some great pictures taken by Aaron Smith. We'll have all of that for you this afternoon on bowl.com. Check out all the latest news and action, scores, stats, you name it, it's there. If you missed part of this broadcast and you'd like to go back and take a look, you can rewind it right now live, actually, on YouTube, or you can go back later. It'll be archived on Bowl TV. Just go to youtube.com/BowlTV. You'll find that and much more. If you want to see how the record holders got it done the other day, there's a video about that. And then their doubles and singles is live streamed as well. It's archived there. You can see John Janowitz take the all events lead.
Fun fact about JJ's run, he doubled in 8 out of 9 10 frames. That's not bad.
It's a pretty good stat.
Matt, when you were run through names not too long ago, did you happen to mention Kenny Shockensy?
Yes. Started with the front 7 there. Possible 279 still.
After a 227 opener out of Canton, Illinois.
So, Aaron, right now we're watching regular singles. Defending champ Henry Teetz. Of course, there's a lot of possibilities on the scoreboard right now for all events, team all events. Chris Pearson has to be making a pretty good run for the all events as well.
He's still going to need 771 to take the lead here in singles, so 233 out of the gates.
All right, well, let's take a look at the singles and all event scoreboards while we have this opportunity.
All right, starting with the regular singles, we've mentioned him a few times already. Kelly Bonta out of Wichita, Kansas is leading the way with 776. Greg Roberts out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 771. Robert Young, we messed this up last time, so apologies to Robert, of Ontario, California, 769. Staying fourth, Bill Farber out of St. Cloud, Minnesota, 755. And rounding out the top 5 of singles, Paul McCordick out of Sugar Land, Texas, 748. Moving on to all events, another name we've been talking about all day, John Janowitz out of Winter Haven, Florida, a 2-time titleist here at the Open Championships. He's leading the way with 2169. Joe Keltner has also won a title here. 2008 regular team champion out of Wichita, Kansas, 2154. Brandon Brolinski out of Flint, Michigan, 2103. Scott Howe out of Oregon City, Oregon, 2090. And rounding out the top 5, Ricky Beck out of Box Elder, South Dakota, 2070. Team all events, Team Tilt. Once again, the 2008 regular team champions. He's leading the way with 10,065 out of Lawrence, Kansas. Our regular team leaders currently, Lodge Lanes 2 out of Orlando, Florida, sitting second with 9820. Town and Country Lanes 1 out of Heartland, Wisconsin, 9766. Nicholas J's Pro Shop 2, who we saw defend their regular team title not too long ago, out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, 9650. And ND Storm of Mandan, North Dakota. 95-53 rounds out the top 5 for team all events. Jeff Nimke finishes game 2 with 258, so they are they had an average just around 230, a little bit under. Take over team all events, and Red Carpet Lanes is making it interesting here, Matt.
A lot of strikes early for the rest of the guys too.
Once again, they are bowling on different pairs. 4 members of that team are on 37-8. Nimke and the Southern Storm guys are on 35-6. We're on 53-4 watching defending singles champion Henry Teetz, who is, after starting out strong game number 1 singles here, is ran into some hard times.
Right now it's the Kyle Gertzen show. Starts with 244. Now spare 4-bagger before leaving the bucket there in the 6th frame. Kyle just in his 3rd Open Championships appearance, averaging 217 his first 2 years, so pretty good start to his career. And certainly this single set is going to help as well. Jace Peterson for Southern Storm, 235. Rich Abood, 190. Brian Brazil, possible 227. So a lot of striking going on here at the NBS. Left-hander Mike Jamrose also striking, 224, game number 1. Spare 5-bagger here in game 2. He's stepping up on the right lane. He certainly can't rev it up, and we're going to see that right here as he goes for 6 in a row. Too much oomph on that one. Goes right through the middle for a 5 count. Aaron, I'd like to, well, I don't like to admit, but I've shot this bear more times than I would like to. I'm actually pretty good at it. So is Mr. Jamrose apparently. No problem.
Well, Matt, it could be more embarrassing, like, you know, leaving the pocket 4-5 all the time like I do, so. I have so much hand, I don't know what to do with it.
There's Hafes up on the right lane. For a double. Henry Teetz, 3rd in regular doubles. This lane's starting to hook on the right side. That one goes Brooklyn. Not sure he was ready for that, but liked it nonetheless. We got 248 for John Sosha, 235 for Jace Peterson, 258 for Nimke. 258 for Rakoskis, 227 Brian Brazeau, 190 for Rich Abood. So a lot of strikes happening down there for those two teams. Dave Barris starts with 3 in a row here. there. We might have to upgrade your calculator after these couple of days that we've had here at the Open Championships. Still a long way to go between now and July 7th. A lot of great teams coming in this weekend and the rest of the way.
Certainly so. There's a lot of fast calculations going on here. A lot of strikes in this squad. A lot of quality players, and they know what to do when they come out here. You only get one chance a year at the Open Championships. 9 games to make your mark, and can't let that slip away. That's one of the things John Janowitz talked about a lot. When we spoke to him afterwards, after he took over regular all events lead, is the amount of time and preparation these guys put in for this event is, you know, it's not just showing up, maybe bowling one of the side events downstairs or up here or practice session. They are prepping months and months in advance and having their game sharp. And, you know, talking to Chad Kloss yesterday, those guys were on the phone with each other almost every day, talking about layouts, ball surface, strategy, and then having team practice sessions. And, you know, the teams that put in the effort, it certainly shows. And it certainly pays off in the end as well.
Well, a lot of folks say that, you know, some guys have the advantage. They get to pull together on the condition. You know, it sounds like that's more about communication and teamwork and having a good strategy once they get here more than anything. Not about what's available to you at home. Everything is available to you here at the National Bowling Stadium. Just like Ron Folks said, they took advantage of the team practice session yesterday, and he said you'd be crazy not to. It gives you a chance to see the actual pattern and the actual oil on the same lane surface. So to have that opportunity and not use it, it would be foolish. It's a tool to help you succeed here, and clearly it helped them succeed as they shot 31.99 last night, and he shot 7.43.
Kurtz in response with a double after opening in the 6th frame.
Lane's not as nice to these guys here in game number 2. Still jam roast, possible 265. 5 counted on this lane last time. Now, good shot leads to 7. Conversion Ron Vokes can still get to 200 this game. Certainly not where he was hoping to be after a big start. 269 in singles. That'll make a singles title impossible. It wouldn't. It would be the 300 the final game, 775. 1 pin away. Teetz also, unfortunately, will not repeat as singles champion. Started with 243, so it was still out there. Possible 187 here in game number 2. Look forward to hearing his thoughts on the whole process. Almost got himself a doubles title today, potentially. Moved into 3rd place in regular doubles. you'd like to follow along with the red carpet guys, red carpet lanes, they're down on 37 and 38. You can find them on xbowling.com/tournament or your xbowling app tournament edition. Dave Barris with the front four here in game 2 after starting with 258. These guys need a bunch, but they're certainly well on their way. Chad Moss strikeless through 4. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted. Calculators are out. We're ready. We've got some media stormtroopers out there doing some legwork for us. Calculating as well. 64 lanes going here at the National Bowling Stadium on this 11 a.m. doubles and singles squad. Aaron, it looks like a lot of folks are throwing strikes, but not 2 games in a row. We do see that a lot. Obviously, as Henry Teetz and Ron Vokes know, you have to put it together. We appreciate everybody stopping by to join us today. Hope you're learning something. Probably not about broadcasting, but maybe a little something about how to play the lanes here at the Open Championships.
So that's why they tune in.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's not to listen to us for 3.5 hours, but just a hunch.
Fair enough. I don't know how well I'll sleep tonight knowing that now, but
well, good news is you don't get to sleep tonight because we got great bowlers all day and all night here at the Open Championships.
very true. We got a full day of action, including a 10:30 squad this evening, so
We've had very few 10:30 squads early in the event, but we're all the way tonight. Solid team event, great bowlers. Actually, last year it was Corey Simmons and Billy Murphy and those guys. They bowled right before Matt McNeil. So we were actually on broadcasting that night from the 8:30 team event all the way until 3 o'clock in the morning when McNeil got done bowling. We just happened to be in the same general area, so we stayed on. So we're in that part of the year. A lot of great bowling, great bowlers, and then the 10:30 squad tonight. You just never know anymore what's going to happen. So look forward to getting the updates. I know I was up last night keeping an eye on things with you, working on the story of the 3 300s in one day for the first time since 2011. A couple familiar names and some newcomers to the record book, so always an adventure here at the Open Championships. Jamrose 224, 233 here in singles. Ron Vokes 269, 203. Neither one of those guys will take the singles title back to Wisconsin.
Kyle Gertson still has an opportunity here. Chance of 252 this game, along with 244 in the opener. Potential 496 at the turn. Of course, the number here in singles, 776 by Kelly Bonta out of Wichita, Kansas.
And I got my eye on red carpet lanes right now. Dave Barris stopped striking. He had the front 4. Strikes in 5 out of 6 frames. However, the wild card here, Chad Moss right now, 9 spare, 9 spare, 6-3, 5 spare, 5 spare, 9. So not only is he not striking, he's not getting the count either on those spares. So the other guy's gonna have to pick him up.
A lot of strikes on with their crossing team compared to the left. Southern Storm, along with Jeff Nimke, who's part of that red carpet group. 4 out of 5 strikes to start his final game. He started singles 225, 258. So there, Jeff's going to have that number posted. They'll the 4 remaining members will know what they'll be shooting at. You know, Eric Pearson was down there watching his son Chris. They had the pen and paper out, keeping track of everything.
Hopefully they'll share along the way. That'd be great to have some help from them as well. Right now in front of us, Henry Teetz III, defending champ, 243, 176. Ron Vokes, 269, 203. Kurt Preston, 184, 199. Gertson opens in the 10th, 244, 216. So at this point, the highest one, Ron Vokes, best he can do, 772. So we will not see our singles champion come from this pair of lanes. Game 3 underway. Time for a station identification. All right, we're back at it for the final game of singles here. Defending champ Henry Teetz III will not repeat as the singles champion here at the Open Championships. Respectable run, however. 3rd place in regular doubles right now. Still can have a solid single set here. Very respectable. So Aaron down at the other end of the house, our team all events chase. Chad Moss has thrown a strike, but Chris Pearson now with back-to-back open frames. So everybody needs to get on board there.
Dave Harris still striking. He's got 279 out there. But yeah, it's can't let these frames get away. They're running out quickly. Jeff Nimke just threw another strike though. He's through 7 frames, still has 280 out there. John Sosha, 5 out of 6 strikes, and Rakoskis has the front 6, it looks like. So they are, I was going to say, none of them are in position to make a run at singles here, but still putting together a lot of strikes to finish out strong.
Well, it certainly is what it's all about. A lot happening here. Every day an adventure. You can check it out. We do have some new webcams up now since our last broadcast. We have 3 video webcams up in the venue, so you can check out the action live. No commentary, of course. But 3 cameras will pan the entire building. 1 on the low side, 2 on the high side. They'll show about 6 or 7 lanes at a time, and you'll be able to see how everybody's doing. And of course, our usual point and click cameras as well are available, so you can check out the scoreboards at the same time. So a lot of cool features here at the Open Championships. You can find all of that on the Open Championships page on bowl.com. If you'd like to come see us in person, certainly encourage that. Stop by. You can book your trip on mybowlingvacation.com. Your one-stop shop for your travel needs to and from USBC tournaments. And if you use mybowlingvacation.com to book your stay, 3 room nights here in Reno will get you a free entry at the 900 Global 2-game challenge downstairs. So all pays for itself. Got to book a room anyway, might as well take advantage of that opportunity to get a free entry. And Aaron, speaking of entries, 2014 already out there. You can sign up for 2014 if you'd like. We'll be back here at the National Bowling Stadium. Some great incentives for folks looking to bowl next year. What can you tell us about those, Mr. Smith?
Well, we have a few things for signing up early. July 1st is the day we're looking at. Have your team completely signed up and fully paid. I believe we're calling it Championships Cash, Matt?
Absolutely.
Each member of the team, if you're completely paid by July 1st, will receive $20 in Championships Cash, which can be used on various things, whether it's in the sports store, year-long bracket products, Bowling Ball Express, I believe, and as far as a few other things. And also, when you're signing up your team, if you decide to go with the 10:30, the late doubles and singles squad, and are paid all the way through July 1st, you'll receive a $55 rebate for your singles, basically bowling the event for free. You'll receive that at the end of the year, your prize check, which is hopefully overflowing. I know mine won't be this year, but many opportunities to take advantage here at the Open Championships for not only this year, but next year as well.
Sounds pretty good. And for those of you out there very ambitious, if you're a team coordinator, and let me look up what the actual numbers are, but team coordinators,
I believe it's 8 and 6 men.
All right, if you have 8 teams at the Open Championships and 6 at the Women's Championships, that will earn you a complimentary VIP package. And Aaron, what is the VIP package? include? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Here at the Open Championships, if you're a VIP for $229.95, you'll get yourself an official Open Championships VIP embroidered polo shirt. And the key to the whole package, I believe, is what most people are most impressed with, is a free 1-hour coaching session on the 900 Global Showcase lanes with Matt McNeil, the featured coach down there. So one-on-one, you and Matt McNeil, and he'll tell you all of his Open Championship secrets, how to find success here on the tournament lanes, and you get to bowl on the tournament pattern for 1 hour. You also get express tournament check-in if you're a team captain or for your team captain. Comfortably get you checked in for this year's event. Complimentary seating at USBC televised events, the 2013 Queens or 2014 Masters. An Open Championships VIP photo package, VIP locker access, a VIP membership credential, $25 discount to Bowling Ball Express each way. So if you're going to use Bowling Ball Express anyway, why not save $25 as part of your VIP experience? You also get 25% off an item at the sports store. And even better, if you're staying at one of the Tri properties, El Dorado, Silver Legacy, or Circus Circus, we mentioned earlier, if you book 3 room nights through mybowlingvacation.com, you get a free entry to the 2-game challenge. Well, if you are staying at one of those hotels and you're a VIP, you get $25 in free food and another $25 in drinks at the hotel you're staying at. So there's $50 free right there. So the money is just racking up, all for $229.95. There's also a similar package for the Women's Championships. Some of the components a little bit different. They have the opportunity to get a wine tasting as well. So you can find all of that and more. bowl.com/VIP if you'd like the details. And if you have any questions, feel free to email Aaron Smith directly with any questions. Aaron.smith@bowl.com. He'll be waiting. He'll be here all day and all night. That's how we do it. That's how we roll.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody write that down. Right now, Aaron Smith is here early in the day. He's usually our night guy once we get rolling full steam here. And he'll spend some time at the Women's Championships as well. We'll be back and forth between here and that venue. Just 3 miles or so away down the road, right down Virginia Street, the Reno Sparks Convention Center, April 12th to July 1st. So we'll bring you some action from that event as well here in our Bowl TV broadcast. Right now, we're here to see 2012 regular singles champ, Henry Teetz III, and his talented teammates at the 2013 Open Championships, behind lanes 53 and 54 at the National Bowling Stadium.
I was going to say it. I'm sure a lot of folks are wondering about red carpet lanes. One pair just finishing up game number 2, just about. Dave Bears, 244, so he's over 500 at the turn. He's got a chance to make a run at Kelly Bonta 776. Chris Pearson, 195 in game 2. Looks like Chad Claus has 225 out there, and 218 for Chad Moss after a slow start. He can still reach 218. So
about that, he didn't strike for the first 6 frames. Now he's gonna punch out, potentially. So
when you're good, that's what you do, man.
Imagine a big move or a ball change at that point, because those shots prior to the strikes, 5 counts and 6 counts, probably not good shots. So, but yes, that is absolutely true. When you're that good and you've been to the big events, you certainly can make the right move at the right time, but that's why you have teammates as well, to talk you through it. They know your games as well as you know theirs. Extra set of eyes, or 2 or 3. And somebody said the right thing, because Chad Moss is now lined up as well.
Jeff Nimke, their 5th member, pair away, is just delivered his first shot of the 10th frame. An 8 count, might be a split according to the, with it being a yellow 8 up there. So it still has 247 out there. picks that up. 230s no matter what. Moss finishes 216.
Well, that certainly turned out a lot better than it looked at the halfway point. Maybe he heard us. He had 88 in the 6th frame and then struck out, almost struck out. Got 8 on the field, but turned that 88 into 216. So big move there, nice work. Those guys still in the hunt.
Chad Kloss finishes 225 with the last 6 strikes as well. Jeff Nimke did not convert that split in the 10th for 236, so he's already done. I'll do a little math here. We'll figure out exactly where they're sitting and what these last 4 guys need in the final game to they still got a shot at team all events.
A lot of solid scores. It seems to be Wisconsin weekend here at the Open Championships. A couple of weeks ago, seems like everybody from Kansas made their way out here at the same time. Dennis Rakoskis turning in a solid singles effort. John Sosha as well. Possible 279 here in game 3. Not sure what his first 2 games were. Can't see from here, but Aaron's the man with the plan.
Who's that, Mr.
Sosha?
Sosha was 200 on the nose, 248.
Right.
And Dennis was 205, 258. So
those guys are going to get a nice prize check. No more titles coming their way this year, but certainly bowled very well here today. And I have no doubt they're having a good time as well. Brian Brazeau stopped by to say hello earlier before we got started. He and I go way back to our Florida days. He's based in Ocala, Florida, which is about 20 miles south of Gainesville, where I went to school. Spent the 7 best years of my life, I think. Not 7 years because I wasn't smart enough, but 7 years because it was so much fun. I decided to hang around a couple of years after.
you said 7 years. I thought I was going to have to start calling you Dr. Canizaro.
Nope, coattails Canizaro will be fine. And we're in a college town right now.
We certainly are. Only a few blocks away from the University of Nevada.
And if their college town is as fun as mine was, we're certainly missing out. We need to get down by the campus and see what's popping. Although, at this point, I might end up being the creepy old guy, so maybe I'm past that point, and we'll just stay here and watch bowling. Watch Benny Hafes get excited over another big strike. So 207, 206 for him, and possible 279 here in game 3. So no singles titles here today, but these guys bowling well and having a good time. Not that there's any shortage of fun in the Cheese State. I know my time at their Hall of Fame dinner, giving out those Eagles, was quite the party.
All right, man, speaking of the Cheese State, my unofficial calculations for Red Carpet Lanes, after an 11-22 first game of singles, they came back with 11-38 in game 2, meaning they need 1150 as a collective 5 to get to the all events number by single pin. Jeff Nimke's already done with a 236. That drops it to 914 for Dave Barris, Chad Kloss, Chris Pearson, and Chad Moss. So that's over 225 a guy. 228, I believe, was what the calculator said, give or take. So 3 of them start with strikes. Moss is trying to clean up a spare in game number 3.
Well, I've seen those guys throw a lot of strikes, both against me and here at the Open Championship, so it's certainly out there, and they're going to go get it. Aaron Smith getting a little chilly. He's gonna go take a walk, put on his jacket, go look at some scores. We're gonna finish up with Teetz, Folks, Jamrose, Hayes, Gertzen, and Preston. Gertzen gets a break, almost gets the 10 to go as well. He's having a solid single set here. His high single 7:01. And just 2 appearances at the Open Championships. Ron Vokes with the 7:10 there, so he's having a great singles effort here. Until that point, 269, 203. He's already over 600. Red carpet lanes, still striking. Again, if you want to check that out on your X Bowling app. If you don't have it already, you can find that in your app store. X Bowling Tournament Edition. Those guys are bowling on lanes 37 and 38. Or you can find it online at xbowling.com/tournament. Dave Bear starts with a double. Chad Kloss starts with a double. Pearson, double. Chad Moss, spare strike. Jeff Nimke already in the clubhouse, 236 here. So those guys need just over 900 between the 4 of them. Henry Teetz, big strike there in the 8th frame. Cyphers checking in the chat room as well. Still working hard down at 900 global, I believe. Good shot there out of Kurt Preston. We haven't said his name much today. Folks back on track. Got a pretty solid single set. Shot from Jamrose. 3 in a row for him. Red carpet lanes still alive, but running out of room. Dave Barris, 3 in a row. Chad Kloss, double open. Chris Pearson still has 3 in a row. Chad Moss, spare strike spare. Aaron is back with a lot of information, it looks like.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch a few frames down there, and it seems our 9:14 for the Final Four is on pace with what we had. They're keeping track down there as well. Of course, everything's unofficial.
Until it's official.
Until it's official. But talking with Eric Pearson, who's watching his son Chris, and watching those guys throw a few shots, they're certainly going to make a run at it. Chad Kloss, excuse me, caught a bad break with a pocket 710 in the 3rd frame. But other than that, they're looking pretty solid. All using shinier equipment at this point, obviously, and this deep into the set. But Eric seemed pretty confident that they would make a pretty good run at this, so thinks they're playing the lanes the right way, and from what he can see, and we'll keep you up to date as they get further into the game. Currently, just starting the 4th.
All right, well, strike's starting to pile on here in the final game of singles on our featured pair. Ron Vokes gets the first hit in the 10th, so he's still got possible 224 out there. Potential 226 for Jamrose. He's up on the right lane right now. He likes that one. Benny Hayes, possible 279. Kyle Gertson, 255. So although we won't see a champion crowned on this pair today, or at least anybody taking the lead, pretty solid effort from all these guys.
Absolutely, a very respectable performance out here, and definitely putting up some cashing numbers. What Kyle Gertson's had here, he's had a few 10th frames I'm sure he wished he could have back right about now. Starting doubles with the front 9, and then last game with a chance to go 250, opening to drop to 216. He could have been looking at right around 750 if he was able to finish that off, or at least a chance of 750. He'll still add on to that lifetime average.
Ron Vokes, the first one done, 696. Solid effort there from the 2009 regular all events champ. Jamrose will close things out with the spare. $215 for 672. Here comes our defending champ, Henry Teetz III, possible 239. Solid performance all around. 3rd place in regular doubles, leaves a ring 10. Red carpet lanes update. Dave Barris with a pair of spares. Chris Pearson stopped striking as well, 8 spare. Still early though, about halfway through game number 3. We'll have some calculations as that progresses. Henry Teetz picks up his 10-pin. He's about to throw his final shot of the 2013 USBC Open Championships. Pretty soon we'll have the camera out, calculator out as well. Talk to Mr. Teetz and potentially red carpet lane, so should be a warlock of a story coming up this afternoon on bowl.com, so don't miss it. We do appreciate everybody joining us today. We're not quite done, so don't go anywhere. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live from the National Bowling Stadium. Although we can't see it with the cameras necessarily, we'll stay with you to see how this all turns out. Henry Teetz closes things out with a strike for 218 and 637 here in singles. So again, nobody has ever repeated in regular singles, and there's probably plenty of reasons why, because it's really hard being the number one.
Great shot by Gertson there in the 10th. Still looking to get to 255. As well as 715 for his singles effort. The Red Carpet Lanes crew through 5 frames only has 1 open, but Chad Kloss is the only one working on a strike as of right now.
Kyle Gertson, big shot there.
This kid's got some potential to be a contender here at the Open Championships.
Absolutely. 1948 in his debut, 1962 last year on a very challenging condition in Baton Rouge. And a pretty good 2013 so far.
For those of you wondering at home, Kyle started his 2013 event with 625 and added 643 in doubles.
He'll be well over 1900 again.
Be in the 1900s again, so a Mike Shady-esque start to his career.
How about that?
And the 9-pin wobbles, but does not fall into 254 and 714 set for Gertson.
These guys are gonna celebrate a little bit. Solid performance, 672, 671, 714, 696, 637, 564. Probably a pretty solid team all events number. We'll have that later today as well. That'll be included in the Henry Teetz recap. There's a look at the scoreboard. Hopefully we can get Mr. Teetz up here to chat with us for a few minutes. We're talking it over right now. Give them just a minute to get their stuff together. All right, so we're going to talk with Henry Teetz here in just a second. Talk about today's performance. 637 in the title defense. So here we are with our defending champ. Tell us a little bit about today. I know doubles went particularly well. You guys moved into third place. 1392, I believe, was the number. But tell me the strategy and some of the feelings coming in today.
Well, coming in today, I just wanted to improve on yesterday's performance. I was a little amped up in the team event, and you know, just trying to stay relaxed. And even a couple times out here, you know, my feet got fast, and just trying to slow myself down. A little amped up with, you know, the incoming, being the last year's champion, and you know, just wanted to do a good showing. And I think you know, I had a different mindset coming into doubles with Benny. Benny and I kind of had the same look yesterday, and we kind of both struggled. You know, we talked about it this morning, kind of had a plan, stay in the same area, see if we can burn it up a little bit. I think we, that first game in doubles, we really grinded out an even score there, and then threw something big the second game, and then, you know, on road to 1392.
All right, well, tell us about the overall experience coming in. You got to see the banner, you got to see the world champion next to your name for the first time. You got your championship watch, all part of the experience. And then, of course, you had 6 games to kind of get loose, and you can't help but be loose around these guys.
Right,
they're just,
right.
They're a lot of fun, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
But talk about the whole experience coming in, and then, of course, this singles effort here.
Yeah, coming in, you know, first coming in the doors and seeing your banner hanging there, and taking the, you know, taking the picture of the banner, sending it home to family and friends, and you know, just see your name hanging up from the ceiling. You know, it gets you kind of, you don't think you're nervous, but your body just, you know, it does have an effect. I mean, it had an effect on me. Like I said, it just, you know, it amped me up a little bit, got me going. You know, great atmosphere. You know, the staff. You know, people that, you know, you don't know, don't realize they come up to you, congratulate you, and it's a great experience. You know, just to see your name, and a lot of bowlers that from all over the United States not knowing you and coming up and congratulating you. It's a pretty cool thing.
Well, you started singles very strong, 243, a couple strikes there early. Did that help or did that hurt the situation as far as being relaxed and being able to, I mean, obviously 243, you're ahead of last year's pace already. What were you thinking at that point?
Well, finishing the double set and then starting out with a 243, had a good look. Then I ran into problems. Lane 54 was hooking quite a bit more than 53. Tried to move left. As I kept moving left, and even on both lanes, I hit a skid, or it was really tacky at the approach. Pulled a couple balls, and you know, and you put up, you know, spare. Can't get the double to try to get you over the top. Switched balls to a less aggressive ball to get me down the lane a little farther. Finally got lined up at the end there, and then, you know, carried it over into the third game a little bit. So, but just you know, real happy. Shooting today what I did, you know, was plus 100 for the day. So, you know, it just, now I can leave here and then, you know, in future tournaments and just feel like a normal tournament.
Well, yeah, from now on, of course, you'll always be the 2012 regular singles champ. It'll be announced that way every year from here on out. Pretty soon you'll have a nice banner hanging up at home as well. Yep. So we appreciate you being here, and you guys bowled well. That was a great set right there.
I mean, this team is real fun to bowl with. You know, we each keep each other loose, and we have a good time no matter what. You know, if some guy's struggling, we always seem to pick somebody up. All
right. Well, we appreciate it. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And now we're going to turn our attention down to some of your fellow Milwaukee bowlers as they go and try to take the leading team all events here. So we appreciate it.
Great.
And we'll see you next year right back here at the NBS.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks again. All right, we're going to turn our attention now to the red carpet folks if we can. See their scoreboard. We'll get the right scoreboard this time, I promise, if possible. These guys need 914, I believe was the number. So we'll get the best look we can here. We'll go live on camera 2.
914 was the unofficial number. Dave Barris can strike out for 221. Chad Claus, 245. Chris Pearson, 246. Chad Moss, 197. So all those guys have to be plus 114. And I don't think they're going to have enough, Matt.
Well, trying to do some quick calculations here so we know for sure.
I think if they all punch out, they will end up plus 109 for this game.
I got the same thing as well, so 909, the max number for these guys right now. So at this point, I'll keep an eye on it. Henry Teetz just escaped. We need to talk to him, obviously, and get his picture for Bowl.com. We'll have the recap of his attempt at becoming the first bowler with back-to-back singles titles. And then we'll have a recap of Red Carpet Lane's run. They're making it awfully close here, but it's not going to be enough. Dave Barris finishes with 211. I'll give him 713 by my calculations. Chris Pearson opens in the 10th for 212. So these guys gave it a great run. They're going to come up much shorter than we anticipated there, heading into the 10th frame. Should be second nonetheless. So we'll capture this on camera as they wrap up. We'll have the final totals for you on Bowl.com later today. Check for the story on Henry Teetz and how he fared as the defending champion. He shot 637 in singles, but we'll get to hear from him on what it was like being a part of it and being marched out as the champion for the first time. He and Ben Hafes are third in regular doubles, so perhaps he just wanted to share with his teammate this year. Our red carpet lanes team made a run of history yesterday. That's who we're watching right now, at least the scoreboard portion of their performance. They shot 34.99, which was the 4th highest team total in history. And they got there with 12.72 in their finale, the 3rd highest team game ever. But this year, not quite good enough. Top score, 35-38, the record score, bowled by Lodge Lanes 2 just a couple days ago. John Gaines, John Janowitz, our regular all events leader, Vernon Peterson, Mitch Dubinsky, and PBA champion Scott Newell. So some big numbers here at the 2013 Open Championships. We encourage you all to follow along online and on X Bowling, whether it's your X Bowling Tournament Edition app on your smartphone or xbowling.com/tournaments online. It's all there, all the great scores. You can watch live scoring. You can check out how folks bowled who are already done. You can see what pins they left and what frames. So very cool stuff. You could also sign up for the X Bowling 90 frame X game and potentially take home $50,000. So check that out as soon as you get a chance. And if you're curious about our future live stream broadcast, you can find that on bowl.com as well. Just go down to the right side of the screen on the main page, find the live streaming information, and it'll tell you what's coming up in the next couple weeks. We'll be back with you on April 13th. We're going to take a look at Team USA member Shannon O'Keefe, her husband Brian O'Keefe, and then Lucas Wiseman heads to Lincoln, Nebraska for the Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships, April 16th to the 19th, I believe, is that? You can find all that and more at bowl.com, and that's going to do it for today. Once again, this is Matt Canizar, Media Relations Manager here at the USBC Open and Women's Championships. Aaron Smith was with us all day doing some calculations, and we'll be back with you again soon. We do appreciate it. We'll see you on bowl.com. And that's the news for now. Otherwise, we'll see you on the lanes.